hello, everybody. Coming up next, Sports Central, in a very special edition at that. Stick around. Sports Central coming up next. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, my co-host, Mr. Neil Duncan, and welcome to a very special holiday edition of the premier sports show right here in Polk County. Right, Neil?
That's
It's
right.
just been a great year so far, and 2015 is looking great, but we certainly hope that everyone has had a very happy holiday season. We've got one more to go here, but we're on the right track. 2014, a huge success. Even better in 2015.
Well, not only a success, but it takes partnerships to get those
absolutely.
successes. And this great partner of ours, Florida Department of Citrus, segment sponsor for this first segment, our year-end review. And I'm excited. It's amazing to me that we're already headed into January. So many things happened in 2014, and it seems like there really isn't a slow period for us anymore. There used to be some, there's peaks and valleys in any industry and tourism and sports.
Go from working from 90 hours a week down to what, 60?
60, maybe 65.
It is what it is.
But you look back over the year, the World Shoot, it was coming for 3 years. When 2011, we went to Rhodes, Greece and got the event. It finally happened here in Polk County in 2014.
Think that was the highlight and the low light of your year?
You talk about peaks and valleys. When you're talking about an event that big with 73 plus countries coming in, 1,400 competitors, and it's not. I think things like this, people have a perception that they just happen. And of course, being in this industry for as long as we have, you much longer than me, much longer than me. But it takes a lot of people and a lot of people to come together to put on an event like this. But we can talk about Ironman a little bit more. But you look at, World Shoot, but Ironman, PSP Paintball, Rust Mat, Red Ribbon Half Marathon. The list just goes on and on.
Well, and you take the month of October, Neil, and we had an opportunity to host 3 international sporting events in 1 month. And we're all looking and sort of forecasting, okay, what kind of an impact is this going to have on Polk County businesses? And we had some pretty good evidence that it was going to be a strong month.
Right.
Pretty accurate forecast as it turns out. However, when we look at October of 2014, in retrospect, and you look at the numbers, overnight stays, amount of revenue generated, average daily rate, it was a record month for October.
For October, yeah.
I mean, it was phenomenal. In fact, it was so high, it was 19% higher than 2013. 19%.
Huge numbers.
Oh, and you just take a look, at the amount of revenue, the amount of money that's just being pumped into Polk County. Well, it's a very simple principle, is that all this money being pumped in creates jobs. Money flows, which is a good thing for all of us.
Circulates,
and
yeah.
Polk County's just made better off financially and in other ways.
When you look at an event like the World Shoot, and go back to that real quick, it wasn't just about the World Shoot. It was about all the other events that were either brought prior to the World Shoot or will be coming in the next 2 or 3 years after the World Shoot. The investment of Frank Garcia, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank Frank Garcia and Universal Shooting Academy for what they did to put on the World Shoot. Now we have a world-class, we had a great one, now we have a world-class facility in Frostproof in Southeast Polk County. So the economic impact doesn't end when the World Shoot ended in October. It will continue here in Polk County and it diversify our portfolio. As you've said over the years, you can't you know, it's not another soccer event that we love. It's not another baseball event or softball, which we love all those events. But it gives us a hat in the arena, if you will, in another industry, and it's generating that economic impact. But before we get too far down the road, I want to thank the Board of County Commissioners for supporting a vision that Tourism and Sports Marketing had in October of 2011. It was a long-term plan. It was a long-term investment into this.
Very complex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very complex. You know, you take and you bundled. Okay, here's what our objective is, and then developing all the strategies and the tactics that went along with it. You know, there was a bit of risk in that, but at the end of the day, it was a
high reward.
Unbelievably high reward. And but you do have, you know, the Tourist Development Council, the Board of County Commissioners. They agreed. They bought into that vision, and ultimately, again, to make that statement, we're all made better off because of it. And it's, you know, and just from an entertainment standpoint, you know, the shooting sports, hunting, shooting sports are huge in Polk County. So our citizens had the opportunity to see the best in the world, you know, and people that have trained our Navy SEALs and you know, have done other things for our security forces. But you know, it's a rare opportunity that people, you know, in our community get a chance to see the world's best in the shooting sports. Phenomenal.
Well, and we have the world's best when it comes to putting events on and working locally in partnerships. And I know I'm going to miss somebody, and I apologize right out of the gate for this, but Board of County Commissioners, the Lakeland Center, their staff, everything that they did for the event, because they were just with us the entire time. Polk County Sheriff's Office, the City of Lakeland, the City of Frostproof, Florida Sports Foundation,
and the
Polk
police
County
departments,
EMS, and the
Grady
City of
Judd
Lakeland, Police Department. It goes on and on and on, because it really takes a community to put on a world-class event and to deliver, because literally the entire world was looking at Polk County to see how we would do. In fact, the highest compliment we got after the event was France was awarded the 2017 event, and we were told we raised the bar. They were nervous about winning the event, so you knew we'd done well when the next community was kind of worried.
Yeah, this is a family show, and we can't really say what the French said.
Yeah, we can't say what they said. No,
really nervous, and still are.
Yep.
Nonetheless, everybody, this segment's come to a close. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the International Tactical Shooting Confederation Handgun World Championship number 17.
I wish all officials cool breezes and smiling faces, and all competitors crisp triggers and clear front sights. And now, it is my honor to officially declare World Shoot 17 open. Good luck to you all. Good luck to you all.
County Sports Marketing team for leading the way and making most of this happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best whip artists I know, Ryder Kisner. Give him a little demo.
Let's see if I can do it with 2 whips. You guys ready?
You can clap, don't be shy.
All right, let's be serious. You guys ready? It's a serious 2-whip routine.
Whoa, 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 Grasshopper.
So Frank Garcia will now symbolically transfer the IPSC flag from USA to France. World Shoot 18, 2017. Have a round of applause. Next World Shoot, IPSC France.
Everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central, a very special edition at a very special time of the year. And we'd like to thank the great folks. Just had Confab with them this week, actually. And those folks are at Legoland, Florida. What a blessing that has been. And of course, at this time of year, we frequently count our blessings. You should do it every single day, at least I believe so. And you know, Legoland has added so much to this community, to the citizens of this community. 1,500 people employed, up to 2,000 at certain times of the year, pumping almost $750 million into, almost $500 million into our local economy on an annual basis. And we just can't say enough about the world-class entertainment and world-class organization that they are and what they have brought to the table here in Polk County.
When you were saying Legoland, and obviously the things that they're adding, Legoland Florida Resort now with the opening of the hotel in 2015. So this is the year in review for 2014, but in 14 they started building their resort, so the hotel there on property. But in 2015, as we look forward, it'll be up, running, and they're all themed rooms. It's going to be really neat and great for Polk County's economy.
Well, absolutely, and we're focusing, however, today on Blast from the Past, albeit 2014, that far back.
Yeah. Can you go that far?
I'm not sure. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Well,
but you know, dementia's a horrible thing, Neil.
There was so many things that happened this past year, and we talk about it a lot. When we get to the Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony each year in June, it's very easy for the committee to have a pool of talent to pull to select for the awards.
Another great partner, the Ledger, that helps us pull that together.
Yeah, the Ledger Media
and
Group,
from the very beginning, what was that, our 16th Hall of
I
Fame?
don't even know.
Yeah. Talk about memory.
They all run together, but they're all fantastic memories. And this year, as we go to the 2015 version of the Polk County All Sports Awards, again, going to be no shortage in talents or teams to honor that event. And of course,
and a testament, you got to remember though, a testament to that is the fact that Bright House Sports recognizes the vast amount of talent that past and present. Yep. Hall of Famers of past and of course our current talent that we honor at the All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame in June every year. And you know, Neil, it's great to have a partner like Bright House Sports because you know you're looking at a major production there, and they bring in some top talent. And Drew Felios.
Well, I was just going to say, Drew loves doing the event so much. He left his vacation last year to come back to do the Polk County All Sports Awards. So it's just a testament to that event.
Yeah, I don't think Mama was too happy, but
well, that'd be all right. But you look at some of the teams right now, this point of the year, you've got to think that Victory Christian Academy is in the clubhouse, as they say, as the front runner for Team of the Year because they win the Class 2A state football championship. Last year they lose in the state championship 14-7. They come back this year, they get it done and absolutely destroy Indian Rocks Christian 56-14.
In big part because of Caleb Lewis.
Oh, absolutely.
He did an unbelievable job, and arguably he could be the player of the year.
Yeah, I think he threw for something like 384 yards and 6 touchdowns in that championship game. Of course, Tommy Lewis, the father, got to be proud of his son. I believe that's his 4th or 5th state title as a head coach. He won some outside the state of Florida before coming to Victory Christian. Of course, we just recently had them on Sports Central, and Bryce, who one of the players there, who caught 3 of those touchdown passes from Caleb. So if you missed that, go ahead and go onto YouTube and check out that interview because those guys were really, really instrumental in that state title.
Or they can go to PGTV, polk-county.net.
Absolutely.
And check it out, go to the archives, and that's a vast amount, if you will, of great information that people just click on, and you can check out pretty much anything you want to. But Lake Gibson, always in there in the hunt in the area of wrestling. Of course, for me, that's a neat sport because I wrestled in high school, but up in Wisconsin. But wrestling, I don't think gets the credit it deserves for how difficult it is because combining a lot of strength and a lot of speed. So and of course it's somewhat of a aerobic, anaerobic sport at times. So it's tough sport. But Lake Gibson, wow.
Had another great year, and of course, always having to go. And when you hear Brandon High School, you always think of them being in the state finals and doing well. But in Polk County, it's Lake Gibson. They're that dominant wrestling program. But how about we had no college football, and then we had Weber. And now we have 3 teams playing college football, and you look at Southeastern with their first year, had a very successful season, and then on top of that, you've got Warner, and then Weber. This year was the first year that they sponsored a conference. The conference came together in the Sun Conference. Weber wins that inaugural season of the football conference. They win a title. Of course, we had Coach Kelly Scott in the show recently.
Yeah, Kelly Scott, and you had they've had an opportunity to build that program. And Kelly made some really good points, about it's not just bringing talent together. You've got to coach them, you've got to manage them, but there's so much that goes into creating an atmosphere, successful atmosphere on campus.
Right.
And I talk a lot about what goes on in the locker room, Neil, and how much of a key that is for sports success. Doesn't get a lot of press in the major media, but it is critically important. It can make or break a team. So we've got to go to a quick break here, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with this special edition of Sports Central. Stick around.
Any of those teams have do you see in the state title game or winning a state championship?
Victory Christian, I think they'll get there again. They made it last year. I really think Lakeland's skill guys are young, and I mean they got A.J. Davis, who's one of the top running backs in sophomores in the state, and James Robertson, a wide receiver. They're both getting looks from Florida, Ohio State, big schools. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lakeland, get that far, make a run if things fall right for them and stuff like that. Like obviously tonight, with the tough one, and they can't. There's not a lot of room for error and stuff like that.
My dad inspired me to play basketball because he was always like, when I was growing up, I watched him play. Like he played in the YMCA men's league, and so I used to always go to the games and just watch him play. And then he just put a basketball in my hand, and ever since then, I just fell in love with it.
I usually mark my golf ball with my signature, and I include a little heart next to it. I would say that the one word that I would describe myself as is very determined. I know exactly what I want in my future, and I'll make any sacrifices I have to get where I want to be.
Yeah, I keep not only myself going, but the whole team going. I think I have a handshake for everybody on the team. I do handshakes.
The recruiting process was difficult because it was hard narrowing down to my top 3, but at the end, I decided where I wanted to go. I started getting recruited when I started playing AAU. That was about 9th, 10th grade.
I've been recruited by quite a few colleges. I've been looked at by a few pro scouts, and it's been going good. Well, my whole life, my goal has been to make it to the MLB. Me and Andrew McCutcheon, he came out of Fort Meade and he made it to the MLB. I just want to be another person out of Fort Meade to be an MLB player.
Share what your secret move is. If you do have one secret move, what is that?
I personally like freestyle better, just because it's a lot like folk style, which is what we do during the season, but it's like not as many rules. Like
folk style, is that so? That's the normal.
Yeah, it's the normal season.
Scoring on
yeah, high school season.
Okay, not high school season. Okay.
You know, the move that I like to do is we call it fireman's carry. It's, you basically just duck under,
like
pick them up. Yeah, you can slam.
Can
you maybe demonstrate for us on Neil? That's not something we're going to do today?
No, I really don't want to do that, no.
My ritual before a meet would probably be, I am like I said, I was my worst critic. I talk so bad about myself. And I know it sounds crazy, but I would be like, I can't do this. I'm not going to get out here and do this. And then like right before he says get marked, I say, you got this, girl. You got this. Now run hard. And then I give it all I got, pretty much.
I hope to make it to the NFR. That's the National Finals Rodeo. That's where all the big-time ropers and everyone in the rodeo, the big shots, that's where they go. Danny McClellan, Mike Matthews, they've helped me a lot. And a professional guy is Tuff Cooper. He's a real good calf roper. He just never misses. He's practicing every day.
My biggest accomplishment in the pool is going to the Junior Olympics. I went whenever I was probably 11 and 12, and I'm the only girl on Lakeland Area Swimming that has gone to Junior Olympics, and probably going to regionals my freshman year. I went in the 100 free and the 2 free.
My dad's done a great job of finding the balance between being a coach and being a father, and he doesn't, and there's really not much separation between the two, because when he's a dad, he's still my life coach, and then when he's coaching, he's still my dad, and he still comforts me and encourages me at the same time as tearing me down when I need to be humbled. And
what was that experience? I'll first start with you, Caleb. What was that experience last year like for you?
I mean, it's always tough to lose. You play the game to win, and coming up short, it did definitely motivate the guys that came back the next year in the off season to work really hard, dedicate themselves to the weight room, on the field and in the classroom to stay eligible, and just that drive to achieve something greater than we did the year before, and especially the seniors that are coming back because it's your last time around. So.
Right. And you lose 18 seniors off of last year's deep playoff run there to the state finals. Each team's different. I know Jimbo Fisher, talking about the national championship last year with Florida State, he said, we're not trying to defend anything. This is a completely new team, and you probably as a coach can really understand what he's saying with that. How do you take the new components you have in this team and make that run again?
Right. Well, you certainly look back on history, because that is, as you've mentioned, a motivator. To know that our program got that close to winning it all is a motivator for everyone involved. And so you want to build on that. But there's no question this is a new team, new components to the team, and so it's a new chemistry with new goals, new season. So we look back at last year, but then everything from here moving forward is all about, okay, what can this team do? How well can this team to come together and achieve its goals?
It's one of those sports that kind of aggravates you, but it makes you happy at the same time. Missing putts, missing shots, those aggravate me, short putts mostly.
Yes! I started as an 8th grader, and I've just grown ever since. At first I didn't know defenses and things like that, but ever since then I've just grown and matured, and I think I've come a long way.
there are many different things that you can do as a captain. You can lead on the team by showing them what to do, or you can motivate them in any way. You can help them by letting them know what they're either doing wrong or what they're doing right, and they keep doing it. And so that's what I was able to work on more, being on the sideline and helping assist with my team.
To be a captain, to be a leader, you have to be a bigger person than that. You have to rally the team up. You have to be more motivated. You have to be a
Hey everybody, and once again, welcome back to Sports Central in this very special edition. We'd like to thank one of our great partners, and that is the Ledger. Wow, what a year they've had as well. Some great awards for them. They've brought in new publisher this year. Jerome Fersen is on to bigger and better things, and you know, congratulations to them. Great organization, and we certainly enjoy partnering with them. We have so many successes collaboratively with them, if you will, and so our hats off to the Ledger. Speaking of collaboration and partnerships.
And successes.
Wow, Detroit Tigers. A little bit of a nail biter this year, everyone. The Detroit Tigers have the longest standing relationship with a single community of any team in Major League Baseball history. That is for spring training. And you know, the relationship with the city of Lakeland, you know, Bill Tinsley, the city commission, they have all been there, but not just over a couple of years. We're talking
Longevity.
70 some odd years now. I think it's 77, isn't it?
This past 2014 was 78.
78.
2015 will be 79. So we're 80. It's right around the corner.
I know it.
For the Tigers and you.
But you know,
right.
we had some issues in the legislature, and very successful. Many thanks go out to Seth McKeel and our legislative delegation. They, you know, just did a marvelous job of helping bring all that together and altered some of the language in the statutes and so on and so forth. And you know, Neil, at the end of the day, Tigers signed in a 20-year extension, and that's good for the Tigers. It's good for us.
It's great for
you
Polk
take a look
County.
at the economic impact again, $47 million annually. That doesn't include the Lakeland Flying Tigers.
Right.
You know, arguably, you know, most of the fans for the Flying Tigers are local, but that money that's still being pumped into the community by the Tigers organization, the rehabilitation, great to hear, you know, Bill Tinsley talk about that quite a bit, as well as Ron Myers. You know, they both focused on the fact that, hey, we're bringing in multi-million-dollar players for rehab. Well, they have a lot of places they can go, but where do they bring them? Where do they come? Lakeland, Florida. So
yeah, and
that's a testament to Lakeland's medical community and the quality of care that we have here.
Well, and they've been such a great partner that the Tourism Development Council and the Board of County Commissioners recognized the Tigers in 2014 with the Dick Pope Tourism Award that was presented to Zach Purig and Ron Myers and the whole Tigers organization, because it's not just for 5 or 6 weeks during spring training that we feel that economic impact. Like
24/7.
It helps. It really gives us a boost in the springtime. But like you mentioned, Mark, the rehabilitation, all the things, their
it's a
operations.
tough word to say.
I fell all over that, but rehabilitation. But the fact that it's not just that. People in the Michigan area, you know, you can say, hey, you can go up to a show in Cleveland, Ohio, and they say, where are you from? You say, oh, Lakeland. They say, where? I say, between Tampa and Orlando, you know, Central Florida.
Yeah.
You go to Michigan, you say Lakeland, they immediately say, oh, I know where that's at, the Tigers. They've grown up coming to Polk County to watch their Tigers during spring training, and people end up retiring in this area because they fall in love with it when they're down here for spring training. So rehabilitation
there you
and
go.
Relocation. I'm all over it today.
He's a challenge every single day. But, you know, it was a great year. They didn't make it to the World Series. We were disappointed in seeing that. 3 Cy Young Award winners had Justin Verlander,
Yeah,
Max Scherzer.
You're not going to get help now.
And then midway through the season, of course, David Price came on board. Sorry to see him leave Tampa Bay, but the Tigers benefited in the long run. And when you have 3 Cy Young Award winners in your rotation, that is just phenomenal. But the Tigers this year just recently picked up Cepedas. I have a hard time saying that one. And, you know, great outfielder, lifetime batting average 261. He'll be a great addition in the middle of the lineup for the Tigers. They need it desperately. I think their bats let them down a little bit last year, even though you've got Miguel Cabrera, you know, in the lineup and all of that type of stuff. But, you know, back to the impact of spring training here, it's great to see those guys around town, you know, and, you know, our Major League Scramble with the Tigers, and the coaches, the players come out and played at Grasslands this year. Thanks to Leonard Mass and the folks out there for hosting it, you know, and it was fun, you know. And of course, Justin Verlander dating Kate Upton, and she happened to be there at the after party, and that was, and some of her friends. That was a good time. I know you enjoyed it.
I got nothing. I got
didn't take the bait anymore.
No, I'm not. No.
But it was fun. But think about what that does for the community. How many communities do that, you know, in the country?
Well, and the great thing is the money raised is for charity. It goes to the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida. So
it goes right back
that
into the
money
community.
is right back into Polk County. It's not the statewide. Ron Myers and the whole group putting that money back into Little League Baseball and other initiatives in Polk County.
Well, and it goes to hosting other events out at Tiger Town as well.
Absolutely.
You know, when you look at that facility, and it's a world-class facility that now will be getting a $35 million upgrade, certainly elevating the status of Polk County and of Lakeland once again. And not that it's not enough to have the Tigers there, but you know, you just take a look at the front office. Dave Dombrowski, Steve Quinn, and Mr. Illich, great partners for all of us here in Polk County. We've got to count our blessings every day that they have so embraced this county, and we realize the benefits from it. So,
some great footage in 2014.
Oh, some great stuff, everybody. Check this out. We'll be back right after this.
So we have to stay competitive, and we have to get creative. And like I mentioned with the ball club, whoever's on the team, that's not going to draw people in. So we have to rely on some of that grassroots stuff. You know, dollar days, you know, on Mondays we do dollar tickets, dollar hot dogs, dollar sodas, you name it. So that's kind of where we position ourselves, is making us that family affordable entertainment. You know, if you come to the game on Monday, you pay $1. Even if you don't eat, you paid $1 for 3 hours on average of, entertainment. So, I mean, you know, that kind of tells you right there. But, you know, we partner with a lot of charities, we do a lot of fundraisers, both within the schools, you know, athletic clubs, little leagues. You know, we did our big Pack the Park event last weekend with Kids Pack. You know, and we'll go with anybody. It doesn't have to be the big guy, you know, the big charity. It'll even be the little guy, you know, who's just trying to raise a little bit of money to, you know, maybe send their chorus on a trip. So we do those things. Fireworks, of course, always brings, you know, people out. And
those are on Saturdays, right?
Yeah. So when we do the fireworks, we do them just about every Saturday. I think in July 5th this year is like our last show. But, you know, so we have to be free thinkers. You know, we have to kind of get people there based on what we're doing. You know.
Well, again, you talk about the family-friendly atmosphere. Friday nights, the family 4-packs. Tell us about that, because it's a really good deal. I mean, Monday's a terrific deal, but if you don't have time with your schedule, Fridays is terrific. Tell us about the family 4-packs.
Well, the family 4-pack, I mean, you can get it. I think it's $25, and you know, if I'm speaking correctly, and it's you get the tickets, you get some food with it, and it's just a cheap way to come out and enjoy some baseball.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You know, on Wednesdays we do our all-you-can-eat nights for $10. You get a wristband. You come in. We always have a featured restaurant. This week it's PDQ. Come in for $10. You get your game ticket. You get to eat all the hamburgers, hot dogs, sausages, pizzas, you name it.
That's not sponsored by the Fitness Pal.
No, definitely not. But, you know, it's, again, I mean, you get Little League teams or high school travel teams that come through there, and, I mean, this is a dream, because those coaches don't have to go to a restaurant and unload $30 per kid. You know, it's $10, and then you entertain them. You know, distract them for 3 hours. But that's what we're doing. You know, we're giving people. You know, maybe we're babysitters. You know, sometimes in the community, but we enjoy it. You know, it gives people a reason to come out and you know, enjoy some baseball with the fireworks. Fridays we do some giveaways. But yeah, the 4-pack's great. You know, for $24, I think is what it is. The 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs. We go to Metro PCS, you can get that, and you save a lot of money.
But behind the scenes, you know, Mr. Ilitch gives back to the community, millions of dollars back to the community. I know Dave Dombrowski is very supportive of the things that go on off the field because he feels that's important as a business, but also just as a human being to do those types of things back to the community and with the community.
Last night it was especially interesting to watch the engagement between the Lakeland community and these players. People don't realize that these players live in Lakeland, Florida for 6-8 weeks. There are other players that live here 12 months out of the year, but they're gone for 6 months to play baseball. But they reside in Polk County and in our community, and they develop friendships, relationships, people they rely on, and watching the interaction. Many of the players of today are younger players raising families. They love the community because of the playgrounds, the park systems, the YMCA. We've got kids that have got their kids going over to First Tee and get to know Gerald because they want them around the quality of people that make up this community. So we're more and more, and as an organization, we're seeing the Tigers, mostly through Dave's influence, say, this is a place to settle. If you really want to develop your baseball skills, we have facilities here, and we'll support those facilities 12 months out of the year.
We're here at the 2014 Major League Scramble, the 19th annual Major League Scramble at Grasslands. Detroit Tigers in town for the 78th season of spring training here in Polk County. Justin, once again, thanks for coming out for the event. Of course, it's for the Tigers Foundation of Florida, but another spring training in Lakeland.
Yeah, another spring training, man. This is, I think, my 10th one, so, you know, just really enjoy being down here. I actually come down to Lakeland early in January. I like being down here, love the weather. I've made some friends in the area, so I always have a blast, and this event's always a lot of fun for me.
What's it mean to be part of the Tigers organization? Of course, they've got a long, storied history. What's it mean to be a part of the Tigers?
Just, you know, pretty cool to come here, first of all, in spring training and be part of the, you know, longest running facility out there and you know, see the history and fan support and, you know, obviously what we're trying to accomplish now. You know, the goal is get back to the postseason and ultimate goal, get into the World Series. So just an honor to be a part of this club that is so deep and so well-rounded. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's really a fun day. You know, it's a break for our players to get away from the routine of everyday spring training practicing, and for our fans and some of our sponsors to come out and get a little sunshine and have a lot of fun.
Let's talk about where the proceeds go, because the Tigers, not only are they here for 6 weeks during spring training, but really the organization's here year-round. Let's talk about the foundation and what it supports.
Well, we have a Detroit Tiger Foundation of Florida, and all the money that we raise, not only from the golf tournament, but from our 50-50 draft raffle at the ball games and also our spring training auctions, all that money goes back into the community in Polk County. So we try to help out a lot of people that need our help.
That scramble has raised tens of thousands of dollars throughout the years of the 16 years for charities throughout Polk County. Yes, corporate America gives back. The Tigers give back each and every day. And at this time, I'd like to present the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award to the Detroit Tigers. And accepting on behalf of the Tigers today is Zach Burek, former Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing Business Development Director for the Tigers, Mr. Zach Burek. Zach?
Well, thank you, Mark, and to be associated with the name of Dick Pope in this community is amazing, and to be a part of that is great. We want to thank, on behalf of the Tigers organization, Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, our Board of County Commissioners. Mark mentioned our TDC members here with Jackie, Frank, Desiree, and John. You can't be 78 years without great partners, and we certainly have that here with our county officials, with Jackie in the chamber, our TDC, and we're proud of that. Obviously, our City of Lakeland folks, Bill Tinsley and Bob Donahue and their whole staff. So on behalf of the organization, we're thrilled. Mark mentioned all the teams that are leaving. We're here, and the great part about what we're doing here is we're a year-round operation. The Flying Tigers have been playing minor league baseball here for 60 years, and we're proud of that, and hopefully be here for 60, 70, 80 years to come. So thank you very much, and this is a great honor, and it's a thrill to...
Everybody, and welcome back once again to Sports Central and another year in review, Neil. And it's something that we always look forward to this. We've had so many shows over the years, but I think that the year in review is obviously one of my favorites, and I know for you as well. And speaking of favorites, Hall Communications, the Big Four, if you will, and we've got to say thank you to them because WPCV and
ONN,
WONN, WLKF,
Max.
which is, and then Max 98. It's really fun to do the radio show Thursdays from 5 to 6 o'clock, and we had some superb guests on there, and a little bit easier because you can, they call in, and so we get a lot of professional athletes to do that. Again, it's 5 to 6 o'clock, 1430 WLKF, and you can hear Neil sometimes, you can hear me sometimes, along with our co-hosts and guests, and Neil.
That's a better time slot than the one I had to do on Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on LKF. But
good for him. Toughens him up a little bit.
I'm not used to getting up that early, but great partners at Hall Communications, and we certainly appreciate them.
Man, good man. Mm-hmm. Love the staff over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're fun folks, especially out on the golf course.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Okay, we'll stop that one too.
Eric and Mike from Max 98.3. If you want to see something funny, go watch them play golf.
Hey, we've had some great guests over the on this show. That is, well, both actually. Michael Mink from the Florida Marine Raiders.
Of course, they won a title this year.
They won a title this year. The X-Leg.
See, this is what happens. You make fun of me, and then you start doing it.
Yeah, it goes around, comes around, right? Yep. Always an interesting story there. You've got an interesting level of football there, and it's really, for a family, it's a blast because you can go in, it's affordable, you have a great time, and he's always entertaining.
I do want to congratulate Coach Mink because this is the first time that, of course, Lakeland's had indoor football over the years. This is the first time that a club has made it to the 4th season.
Yeah.
Because things happen and fan bases. And let's be honest, it's tough to get people to come inside when we live in Central Florida during that time of year. So they do a great job, family friendly, great entertainment for the dollar. So be looking for that schedule. Of course, we had him on talking about the championship that they won this year.
Yeah, he was excited for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of excited, it's a lot of people aren't so excited when they retire, but City of Auburndale, Mickey Etherton, the Parks and Rec director there for many, many years, and part of his responsibilities, the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex, was a showpiece for Polk County in the world of sports, home to the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, home to the Florida Youth Soccer Association, which is the largest governing body in the state of Florida, sports governing body, that is. And, Mickey had mixed emotions at his retirement. He was on the show, reflected on some of his past successes and some funny stories, but kudos go out to Mickey Etherton for a job well done. And not only is it a showpiece for Polk County, it's a showpiece for the state of Florida. Very unique when you have a governing body, in fact, three governing bodies within 5 miles. That's pretty good stuff. USA Skydiving Team. Based out of Lake Wales, at least some of their practices, and you can kind of just watch them driving. If you're driving out of Lake Wales, and you're seeing guys fall out of the sky. Oh, there's a chute.
Yeah, it was neat because I got the chance to go out there and talk to a couple individuals who won a national championship, and they were getting ready to compete internationally. It's a neat setting out there, and a great interview with them as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, Mike LePan, one of our great partners at the Lakeland Center, host of so many events there, particularly on the sporting event side. The Florida High School Athletic Association state basketball, boys and girls, plus wrestling. We've had volleyball. We've had all sorts of different things. Renewing the contract, taking the lead on that, along with sports marketing, and got it done. Got it done, and there were some political obstacles there, but kudos to Mike LePan. He's been the best of the best when it's come to managing that facility, and we are certainly going to miss him.
Absolutely.
And he is another one that's retiring. I hope it isn't a disease. You might, but
wow.
But you're talking about the diversity of sports, and some of the guests we had on the show, Alex Bose, went out and did an interview with him, tennis coach of the year, USTA tennis coach of the year, and a guy that comes in, makes us laugh, either on radio or on television, and that is Rick Brown
from the Leisure. Absolutely.
There's nobody, I will argue, nobody has better insight into what's going on in the Buccaneers, both in the locker room, off the field, and on the field than Rick Brown.
Don't say that. We don't want him to get big ego.
Well, we had to widen the door to get his head through the last time, but that's again back to that partnership. And you already mentioned Frank Garcia and World Shoot and having him on, and of course he was a world champion as well.
He won a world championship in his category and division there, and so not only did he come to us with an event, and we went over to Greece, then he competed for 3 years, made the national team, and won a world title. That's a lot on one man's plate.
That's a prescription for high blood pressure and everything else.
Haven't heard much from him since. I think he's been sleeping.
I think so. And one of the events that I enjoyed so much, I mean, when it comes down to it, everybody, more than 220 events this year that Polk County Sports Marketing, Central Florida Sports Marketing. It's the same organization. If you ever see those titles, Central Florida Sports Marketing and Polk County Sports Marketing, just happen to use Central Florida outside the boundaries of Polk County because, well, there's 11 Polk counties in the United States. So, there's a difference between Polk County, Wisconsin and Polk County, Florida. Big difference. But, it's one of those things that, the Polk County's name, the economic impact gets out there. It's something very unique. It's a recession-resistant industry. Disney found that out after 9/11 and through the Great Recession. Sports was the one thing that didn't take a dive.
Right.
It's just always there. Mom and Dad are going to spend whatever it takes to make sure their little pumpkin can be successful at the state championships, regional or national championships.
Always so elegant with words.
So they can.
Let's take a look at some of the footage from those great interviews.
I think that would be a great idea, everybody. Here you go. We'll be back right after this for the wrap. Stick around. I understand by virtue of the fact that this trophy that probably weighs as much as I do and not quite as tall, but close enough, that congratulations are in order.
Oh, most definitely. It was a great victory, a great national championship to play in front of 8,000 in St. Louis, and 3 years of hard work to have such a great night. And then the next day being Father's Day, and my daughters were with me, so it took me a week to get home, but it was just a very blessed, rewarding night. And the next day, the Father's Day, was even better.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You've definitely got some nice hardware here, and I'm sure there's some celebratory drinking out of that thing by any chance, maybe here and there. But
we're actually passing it around it's going to it'll be at El Forno on Monday. Okay. It's going to go all through our sponsors, and we're going to let everybody share it. It was at Lakeland Center for a week. July 7th, we're at City Hall. We're going to name it Marine Raiders Day.
Yeah.
So it'll be at City Hall on the 7th, and we're going to let everybody take a share of it. And because our sponsors, our fans, everybody contributed to our this organization being around for 3 years and now going to a 4th year, which is no one's ever played 4 seasons in the Lakeland Center. So that's a historic, fact there. So, we're glad that the program's moving players up and now winning national titles. So we're moving forward.
So talk to us about your part. You know, you're trying to stay in the frame. You're traveling. How fast are you guys free falling at this point?
Ooh, the speeds range anywhere from 100 miles an hour to 180. I don't make it easy for him to keep me in frame. Some of the criteria: toes pointed, feet together. Some of this pretty stuff that I have to do, it doesn't always go straight down. So he has to really fly. What I need to do is make sure that I keep eye contact with him and that I make sure he's ready to go before we start the next maneuver together.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm off skydiving by myself and he's off on another skydive just trying to chase me.
So there's a lot of, it's choreographed. There's a lot of, you know what her next move's going to be. You know where to be for that next combination or whatnot. And doing it at 100 to 180 miles an hour, that
yeah, we have to get it
takes
done.
It takes a lot of teamwork there. Well, talk to us about the U.S. Nationals. You did win the national championship in the freestyle. When was that? Where was that? And what did that mean to win a national championship?
Oh, it was my dream. I was wide awake and dreaming. It was at Skydive Chicago, which is, where is that, Ottawa? It's in Ottawa, Illinois. It's a very large facility, and they host nationals. They actually are hosting the World Championships coming up in 2016, so we're really excited about that.
Home air advantage?
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
What are some of the highlights in the sports area that, I mean, you're a former collegiate baseball player.
Yes.
You know, you played kind of semi-pro ball and some other stuff, and so you're a jock yourself.
When I started with the city in a lot of different areas, I've worked in like 5 different divisions with the city and seen a lot of things, met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and that's the main thing. We look at ourselves as co-workers, and it's gone a long way, but I think a lot of the highlights, the biggest highlight I would have to say is Lake Myrtle and what we've done and where we've put it on the map, and seeing those people that come there that really appreciate that. That's been the biggest thing for me.
Do you think the softball complex led into that? Lake Myrtle may have not gone as smoothly if the softball complex hadn't proceeded.
It really opened our eyes, Neil, to see what could happen. And then once we seen the vision of Lake Myrtle of where we wanted to go, we knew that we've done it at the softball complex. We knew with our downtown park what has happened, and it's really, really gone well. So to answer your question, yes, it has led into it.
Well, we certainly appreciate it.
You know, Mickey's done an awful lot for the city of Auburndale and a lot that people don't know about. But he's also done an awful lot for Polk County, particularly stimulating the local economy when he goes out and plays golf. And but what's your handicap? What's your handicap?
It's 5.
Is it?
It's a 5.
He's a sandbagger. I'm
telling
you, he's a sandbagger.
I get my son to help me out.
So will you be on the tournament/scramble circuit more now that you'll have a little more free time?
My wife hopes not, but I'm sure it will be a little bit more.
The answer is yes.
Mary Beth keeps a pretty tight leash on old Mickey. She's a good girl, and arguably one of the reasons that you've been so successful, because she's been so supportive.
Absolutely.
And with her own career and the successes of her own. But I tell you, it's been an honor, and on behalf of the entire staff at Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, it has been an honor and more importantly a pleasure to work with you over the course of the years. And you know, I think that sometimes government gets a bad rap in certain areas, but this is an area that, what can we do to make this happen? How can we make it better? How can we improve the environment for our citizens and the local economy? You've done all of it. And that is it's a testament to the quality of your work and your career, and boy, I tell you, we appreciate it.
I appreciate it, and I've been.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. And Neil, that was some great footage there, some great interviews over the course of the year. And you know, other than World Shoot, because you were so close to it, I mean, every day for a long time. Yeah. What would be your favorite event this last year?
I think I always enjoy the All Sports Awards. because you really see the Polk County community come together and honor our great athletes, whether it be amateur in the high school, and then into collegiate, and then into our professional sports and the Hall of Fame. It just, everybody comes together for that event. So I think it's always the All Sports Awards for me.
Now, as we look at 2015, you know, there's some real cool stuff coming in. Skills USA, which is it was just a combination of education and
skills.
Competition.
Skills training,
and really what it is. And so it's an opportunity to showcase some of the best talent in the country, all coming here to arguably what is the heartbeat of Florida. At least we like to think so.
And of course, Russ Mat Baseball, Central Florida Collegiate Invitational coming back. I think it's their sixth year. So that'd probably be another one that that is one of my favorites. But other spring training events as we continue to grow that business model in Polk County. Some great events.
And you know, and it's part of our strategy. Sort of kept that hidden for quite some time as we built the portfolio. But you know, spring training lacrosse, both college and high school teams. The Rebel Spring Games, we recruited that from another area, and we had 70, I believe it was 77 college girls fast pitch softball teams right here in Polk County during the month of March, and quite frankly, during the month of March, we're experiencing what are called leakages, and it's money that flows out of the county simply because we don't have enough places for them to stay, you know, and that's something we're working on. It's a supply side strategy. We need more hotels, motels, and we're seeing some progress in that area, particularly along the Legoland corridor, Lake Wales project with the Grand Hotel. I know that's a priority there, and of course many in Lakeland here, a lot on the books there. Just talked with Jackie Johnson yesterday about 3 potential new hotels in the city of Lakeland. So it's all going to a good thing. But Neil,
some of the properties that are already here and partners of Tourism Sports, we want to thank for making this show possible. Contempo Vacation Homes, Hampton Inn Lakeside Village, Holiday Inn Winter Haven, and the Hampton Inn in Winter Haven, along with Hollywood Window Tinting and Signs.
Great partners there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's 2014 in a wrap. Certainly hope you enjoyed it. In fact, our next live show is coming at you January 23rd on Friday. So make sure you check that out. Mark and Neil will be back. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope your holidays were very prosperous, and I hope your New Year's is prosperous and enjoyable as well. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next time.